What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C, and welcome to the Tasha C Show podcast. Shout out to my YouTube and podcast fam who have been listening and or watching to my podcast and videos. Hugs and loves with people in advance. But also what I want to say is if you're part of my podcast fam and or you're listening, you're liking what you hear, go ahead, of course, follow me, whatever podcast you're listening to me to on. But also, if you're learning about these YouTube channels, go ahead to YouTube, your phone, your tablet, maybe your smart TV, Alexa, somebody, whatever, how you listen in or watch your YouTube videos. Go ahead and put Tasha C TV and vice versa for YouTube. If you're part of my YouTube and or you've been listening or / watching my videos and you're wondering about this podcast, go ahead and look at the description and it should have right in there, besides also including speaker, other podcast platforms you can find it. Temporarily at the moment now, to further notice, SoundCloud is not on there. It's older episodes if you're looking for that, but not current ones in the past month or so. But anyway, just let y'all know also that if you're new here, this is another bonus. I recently had this as my bonus podcast. I usually have the one that has entertainment and so forth. I'll do that, come back to that soon. But right now I'm just doing this as long as I can. And when I say bonus podcast, that means it's a part of my 366 video day journey, which is just I start October 8th for my birthday of last year and plan on ending then. But I still, hopefully, be able to continue this one. Now, this is just an additional podcast series I decided to do. Originally, I was just going to do it only for this month. But I plan on carrying it out as long as I can. So, until I can / have time / also feel like it. Okay. But anyway, y'all have, it's New Year. I was going to say New Year's Day. I mean, it is a new day, y'all. But, it's actually, we're about to go into a new month. This is Leap Day / this is the leap year. The last day, if you officially go by it being Black History Month. But Black History is 365 days of the year, actually. But if you went officially by the month, this would be the last day of it. Because this is February 29th. This would also be volume 29th. Which after this date, even though I'll put in the description, y'all, the date that I, still make, like the videos, like March 1st and so forth, and how long it continues, I still will put volume 30, 31, 32 and stuff, okay? So, I'm not going to, change it or reset or, don't know what to do, or part 2, or, whatever, start over. Still going to continue on. Okay, sorry about the ramble, y'all, but I just want to get that out the way, and since, we're just going to go ahead. I've been, I'm going to Instagram and bookmarking a whole lot more between the sites like Blacks Online and going to other sites, to get more information and, continue on, as much as I can. Finding, more information so I can stretch this out. So, we're going to go to Instagram first and probably, for a while use Instagram, and then I'll probably go back to the other tablets where I talk about Black history. Now, I'm just waiting for this to load up. I don't mean to bring up the horoscope thing, but I swear it's Mercury retrograde. If y'all know about that, technology is just haywire. Okay, now, this is from Mesian. I hope I'm saying it correct, but I always have to spell it out, y'all, because y'all know I be pronouncing words, and chopping them up. Okay, OLMCCIAN. And what it says is, on the last day of Black History Month, we honor Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. She was a scholar, an innovator, and she was one of the most profound thinkers of our time. That's how you do it. Okay. Let me go to the next one. Alright, this is from Black History Instagram page. On February 29, 1940, Gone with the Wind is honored with 8 Oscars by the American Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts and Sciences. an ethnic Southern romance set during the hard times of the Civil War. The movie swept the prestigious Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, Cinematography, Art Direction, Film Editing, and Actress categories. However, the most modernist award that night undoubtedly went to Hattie McDaniel for a betrayal of Mammy, housemaid and former enslaved woman. McDaniel, who won the Best Supporting Actress Academy Award, was the first African American actress or actor to ever be honored with the Oscar. Ugh. Although she was honored with an Oscar, liberal African Americans sharply criticized McDaniel for accepting a role in which her character, a former slave, spoke nonchalantly about the Old South. In her tearful Oscars acceptance speech, McDaniel said, "I sincerely hope I shall always be credited to my race in the motion picture industry." Wait a minute, I thought also too, y'all, I could have sworn, wasn't she not able to receive her award rightly there because she was black? I could have sworn she wasn't able to attend to actually receive her award like everybody else. Okay. But, okay, next on Black Facts Online. I love this site. It's just sometimes you have to go to their website to get the remaining amount of information. So I'm just going to give you all what they give me here on their, on their page. Okay, Paul Robeson was an American singer, actor, civil rights activist, and college football player. He was exceptionally famous for his political views on anti-imperialism, communism, and the United States government. Paul Leroy Robeson was born on April 9, 1898 in Princeton, New Jersey. His mother died when he was 6, and he was forced to live in the attic of a store in New Jersey due to financial difficulties. Robeson attended the Somerville High School, where he found great success in whatever endeavors he pursued there. He sang in the chorus for Julius Caesar and Othello, and was also part of the basketball, baseball, and track teams. Robeson also won a statewide academic competition for a full scholarship to Rutgers College, where he enrolled in 1915. Robeson was the third African American to be enrolled to Rutgers. He immediately signed up for football trials, where he was tested with excessively aggressive play, which many people attributed to racism. Despite having a broken nose and a dislocated shoulder after his trials, Robeson made the Rutgers Scarlet Knights football team. He also joined the Rutgers debate team, and for spending money, he would sing on campus at various gigs. Robeson's presence at the campus was not the vote of controversy. For instance, he could not officially sing for the college glee club. Furthermore, he was benched in a football game in his sophomore year as a Southern team refused to play with a Negro on the field. Even so, Robeson played spectacularly to earn an All-American team selections in both his junior and senior years. He was also voted valedictorian. His singing skills were recognized in the crisis. After a short stint at the New York University of Law, Robeson enrolled at the Columbia Law School in 1920. In 1920, he also played football for the Arkansas Pros. He played for the Milwaukee Badgers in 1922, and if you go to their website, that will continue on the rest of their information. Okay, this is again Black Facts Online. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, Etta James was a Grammy Award-winning iconic singer who was known for hits such as "I'd Rather Go Blind" and "At Last." Her birth name was James Seta Hawkins, and she was born to a 14-year-old single mother named Dorothy Hawkins on January 25, 1938 in Los Angeles, California. Etta was a child prodigy as a church gospel singer, and Dorothy encouraged her daughter's musical talent. Etta never knew who her father was, so that never bothered her. Her mother had brief relationships with various men, so Etta was raised by a series of foster parents. Etta began singing in the local church choir and made an appearance on the local radio stations in her hometown. To gain better exposure to the music scene, she moved to San Francisco when she was 12 years old, where she formed a musical trio to form with. She met a band leader who was also a talent scout. She began working with him and 4 years later recorded the song The Wallflower together. During this time, she adopted the stage name Etta James and formed the band The Peaches. She also began recording some of her own solo tunes such as Good Rockin' Daddy. She signed with Chess Records and released her debut song album At Last in 1960. It featured a variety of musical styles such as jazz, blues, and R&B. The album included such hits as I Just Want to Make Love to You, a Sunday Kind of Love, and At Last, which reached number 2 on the R&B chart and number 47 on the Billboard Hot 100. The same year, she released her second album, the second time around, which included hits like Fool That I Am and Don't Cry Baby. She then reverted to her gospel roots and came out with a new hits such as Something's Got a Hold on Me, In the Basement, and I'd Rather Go Blind. And then goes where it has a link. Oh, it's kind of a sad story, though. Especially, like, for someone, like, with her childhood and stuff. Oh. Okay. What time is it? Okay, let's see here. Here's another one, Black Facts Online, which, unfortunately, this person, of course, we all know, is now a legend, considering that they passed away not too long ago in a young age. And like I said, the whole story we know about the other patches, including his daughter and 2 other children, and one child with her mom, other one with her parents. And we already know, unfortunately, now about the sad story. But this is what they're saying about, the legend Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is an American basketball superstar who plays the shooting guard position for the Los Angeles Lakers. He was born on August 23rd, 1978 in Philadelphia to Joe and Pamela Bryant. Joe was also a basketball player who played with the Philadelphia 76ers, the San Diego Clippers, and the Houston Rockets before moving to Italy to play for Italian leagues. Kobe spent his boyhood in Italy, but he kept up his passion for American basketball. The family moved back to the U.S. in 1991, where Bryant studied at Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia. He joined his high school basketball team, where he had an outstanding record and led his team to their first state championship victory in 53 years. He received several honors during his high school career, including NASA's High School Player of the Year, Gatorade Men's National Basketball Player of the Year, McDaniel's All-American Team, and USA Today All-USA First Team Player. He went to the prom with the R&B singer Brandy, but the two were not ever romantically involved. Despite good grades, SAT scores, and offers from several colleges, Bryant chose to play for the NBA straight out of high school rather than going to college. He was originally drafted by the Charlotte Hornets in 1996, but traded to the LA Lakers shortly. He signed his contract at the age of 17, as a result of which his parents had to co-sign as his guardians until he became of age. At the time, he was the youngest player to ever play in a NBA game, and also the youngest NBA starter. He was named the winner of the 1997 Slam Dunk Contest, the youngest player to have won this honor at 18 of age. At the age of 19, he was voted as a starter on the 1998 All-Star Game, which made him the youngest All-Star in NBA history. And like I said, it has a link where you will continue to read it. Okay. I rested those people's souls. Okay. Mahela Jackson was a legendary gospel singer in the 20th century, born on... This is also from Black... Oh, okay, let me start over again. This is also from Black Facts Online. as well. Mahela Jackson was a legendary gospel singer in the 20th century, born on October 26, 1911 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Often referred to as the Queen of Gospel, Jackson was referred as an outstanding singer and civil rights activist. Her career spanned 45 years, and in that time, she recorded close to 30 musical albums, out of which she had almost a dozen gold-plated sellers. Her fascination with the blues stemmed from a deep-rooted need to be free and promote the idea of freedom and hope. Jackson grew up in a three-room house on Pitt Street in the Carlton neighborhood in New Orleans, a dwelling that housed almost 13 people. A fairly mediocre means, they nevertheless inspired Jackson to pursue a career in music after making her listen to the powerful voices of Ma Rainey, Mamie Smith, and Bessie Smith. At age 5, Jackson's mother died, and this marked an incredibly difficult time in the young singer's life. Her aunt forced Jackson to clean the house and appoint Spot in the slightest bit less of a resort to beat the child. It says continue here. Okay. On that note, y'all, I'm going to go real quick and get off here and go and look up more information about, let's see here. Hylia Jackson, just broke the beat on. It's Jackson, Black History. The reason why I'm doing this because it, since it was still going where she was still a child, really, and kind of like not giving that much background unless you try to go, online or possibly can go into the site. Okay. Now it's a site. This is black.org. Okay. I think we're going to end with this one. I'm not going to go through everything with this as well. It depends how fast I go with this. Just because if I don't feel like I gave enough information, y'all, I'm just going to continue. Yeah, this is the last one because I'm already at almost 18 minutes. But Hylia Jackson, like I said, this is again Black Past. I may use this as well. Mahela Jackson, 1911 to 1972. Quintessential gospel singer Mahela Jackson, often called the Queen of Gospel, was born October 26, 1911, to an impoverished family in New Orleans. Her father, John A. Jackson Sr., was a dock worker and barber who later became a Baptist minister. Her mother, Charity Clark, died when Mahela was 5. Jackson began her singing career at Mount Moriah Baptist Church in New Orleans. She finally recalled that when she joined the church, she was baptized in the Mississippi River. While a child, Jackson was exposed to the melodic styles brimming throughout New Orleans. Through influenced by jazz and blues, she was drawn to gospel music and firmly established herself as a gospel singer. In 1927, at the age of 16, Jackson moved to Chicago, Illinois, and joined the Salem Baptist Church Choir. She soon began touring the city's churches with the Johnson's Gospel Singers. In 1929, Jackson met legendary composer Thomas A. Dorsey and toured with him for 14 years. One of Dorsey's compositions, Take My Hand, Precious Lord, became Jackson's signature song. Jackson made her first gospel recording in 1931. In 1947, Jackson signed with the Apollo label and 1 year later recorded Moon on Up a Little Higher, a song that eventually sold 8 million copies, becoming, to that point, the most successful gospel recording in history. By the early 1950s, Jackson was an international star. Her 1949 recording, Let the Power of the Holy Ghost Fall on Me, won the French Academy Grand Prix du Dis. I hope I'm not saying. Her Silent Night Holy Night became one of the best-selling singles in the history of Norway, and her rendition of Silent Night on Denmark's national radio generated more than 20,000 requests for her recording. Wow. Jackson sang in two Hollywood, okay, in parentheses, California movies, St. Louis Blues, 1958, and Imitation of Life, I remember that movie, 1959. In 1961, she performed at the inaugural ball for U.S. President John F. Kennedy. Jackson had early performed at the White House for President Dwight D. Eisenhower. In 1963, she sang before her largest audience, 250,000 people at the March on Washington. She also sang at the Carnegie Hall and was the first gospel singer to appear at the Newport, Rhode Island Jazz Festival. Jackson used her commanding contralto voice to move her audience in the United States, Europe, Africa, and Asia. She met Indira Gandhi while performing in India and performed for Liberian President William Tubman. Her powerful voice was used to support the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 1960s when she sang for dozens of fundraising benefits. One of her last public performances was at the funeral of her friend, Martin Luther King Jr. in Atlanta, Georgia in 1968. Jackson's awards included a Grammy and introduction to both the Gospel Music Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Months after collapsing at her final performance in Munich, Germany, she died in Chicago on January 27th, 1972, at the age of 60. And on that note, everyone, that is my last back history a fact for tonight. Well, I'll see you guys I'll see you people, okay? I'll see everybody next month. Tomorrow we start off with starting on Sunday, new Monday, new day, and our last final week really of enjoying this extra hour of sleep. So anyway, it was hug and love. God bless. Y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.